Hi all, this is Sherry. Today we are going to discuss about Defect Life Cycle. Let's get into the process of defects first. I think it's better to explain this with an example. We will consider our testing project online shopping website for this. One of the functionality was customer registration in the project. Usually name and email ID of the customer would be asked while registering in the website. Also, the customer should set a password for logging into the website. When customer visits the shopping website, they click on the new customer registration link. A new page would be opened where the customer can give name, email ID and password. When they click on a register button, the details would be stored. So next time the customer can give email ID and password for logging into the website. This is the flow of customer registration. Suppose the developer who developed this functionality made a mistake in such a way that the register button is disabled. When customer enters the details and tries to register in the website, it will fail. The details will not be stored in the website. The functionality customer registration fail as customer is not able to register in the website. This is a defect and it needs a fix. This defect occurred because of the mistake of developer, and this created an error in the code, and because of that the system is failed to register the customer. So we can put the cause of defect in this way. Mistakes by human which created error in the code and which caused failure of the system. I have explained the causes of defects in my earlier session. Please watch my video on software testing fundamentals. Okay, let's move to the topic Defect Life Cycle. Defect Life Cycle is a cycle where the issue identified by the customer travels during its lifetime. The defect travels through different stages. Let's look into that. When tester finds the issue, they capture the details and logs in the system. The defect status would be new at this point of time. An experienced person from testing team verifies this defect and assigns this to development team. The status of defect at this point of time will be assigned. Developer verifies the issue. If the issue is valid, they move the defect status to open. Here the defect is taken for investigation and developer finds out the root cause of the issue. Once the issue is fixed, the status of the defect is moved from open to fixed. After that, the fixed code is deployed in testing environment. Then the defect is moved to retest status so that the testers can take it and retest the issue. If the issue is resolved, then the defect can be closed. The defect status is moved to closed. So this is the basic life cycle of a defect. When tester finds the issue, he logs in the system, developers fixes it, and again tester verifies the fix, and the defect will be closed. The defect can traverse in different way as well. We will discuss that next. Tester finds the issue, developer fixes that and given it back to the tester for the retest. While doing the retest, tester finds that the same issue is occurring. So he reopened that issue. So there is a new defect status called reopen. Again it will go through the same life cycle, which means it will be assigned to developer. He again fixes that and again it will be given back to the tester and they need to re-verify. So the cycle here is new, assign, open, fix, retest, reopen, again open, fix, retest and finally closed. Okay, let's discuss the next scenario. Tester finds the issue and he raises that in the system. When developer verifies the issue, he observes that the same issue is already raised by another tester, so the developer marks the defect as a duplicate one. So here the cycle would be new, assigned and finally duplicate. Okay, let's see the next scenario. Tester raises the issue. When developer verifies it, he finds that the issue raised by the tester is not valid. He finds that there is a mistake from the tester and he rejects that issue. Here the cycle would be new, assigned and finally rejected. Okay, let's move to the next scenario. Tester identifies the issue and he logs that in the system. Developer verifies the issue and they find that it is valid. They move the defect status to opened. They started researching on it and finds the root cause. They find that this issue cannot be resolved in this release, but it can be released in the future releases. So they change the status of the defect to deferred. Here the cycle is new, assigned, opened, deferred. So these are the possible defect status movements. So far we have seen the causes of defects and defect life cycle. So let's get into the next topic, severity and priority. When testers logs the issue in the system, they provide severity and priority of the defect. Severity means how severely the bug affects the operation of the system or software. Whereas priority means how quickly the defect needs to be fixed. Severity can be critical, high, medium or low. Example of critical severity defect is complete shutdown of the system or the system itself is not working. In our example, online shopping website, if the website itself is not opening, then it's a critical severity defect. High severity defect means it collapses the system, but there is always a workaround available. Example from the testing project is customer registration is not working, but the buyer can be a guest user and he can buy the product from the website. Medium severity means system is working, but it produces some undesirable results. Example from our testing project online shopping website is customer is able to make the order successfully, but system is not showing the message order placed successfully. The low severity defects are the cosmetic issues which are related to look and feel of the system. For example, a spelling mistake in the website. The spelling of order is not correctly displayed in the website. This can be a low severity defect. So the severities can be critical, high, medium and low. Priority means how quickly the issue needs to be fixed. It can be high, medium and low. High priority means defect should be fixed very quickly. System cannot be used until it is fixed. In our example, if the website itself is not opening, then it's a high priority issue because it needs to be fixed very quickly to proceed with further testing. Medium priority defect means defect can be resolved during the normal course of the development activities. For low priority defects, the fix is delayed. The defect is irritant, but repair can be done once more serious defect have been fixed. Okay, now we will see some examples of different severity and priority types. The first one is the defect is raised with high severity and high priority. Example can be the application itself is not working. In our example, the online shopping website which is not launching can be a high severity and high priority issue. The next one is a defect raised with high severity and low priority. Example can be customers who are using old browsers cannot buy the product. The software is not compatible with older version of the browser. When the customer tries to buy from older version of the browser, the system won't work properly and he won't be able to buy it. Most of the customers use latest version of the browser and the software works perfectly with those. Only very few customers use older version of the browser, so the fix can be given at later point of time. The next one is a defect raised with low severity and high priority. Example is spelling mistake in the company name of online shopping website. Spelling mistake in the company name of Amazon shopping website homepage will impact the reputation of the company. Even though the defect is low severe, the fix should be on high priority basis. The next one is a defect raised with low severity and low priority. For example, a less frequently visited page in the online shopping website is taking long time to load. Since only very less users visits that page, the fix can be delayed. Okay, we have seen the examples of combinations of different priority and severity types. High severity, high priority, high severity, low priority, low severity, high priority, low severity, low priority. To summarize, we have seen causes of defects, defect life cycle, severity and priority and examples in this session. Hope this session helps to enhance your knowledge on defect life cycle. If yes, please like my video and subscribe to my channel Test Talks. I'll be coming up with more videos. Please keep an eye on it. That's all folks for now. This is Sharon signing off. Thank you.